Hello and welcome to, Wallybois. Yeah, I had the wrong camera on. Well, I've been fiddling around with my cameras and I'm still having trouble with my cameras. But I'll carry on with this cabinet door, which is down here. But I have managed to sort out the overhead camera. That appears to be working, which is a good sign. I like the fact that's working because it allows me to do other things. And also, I've got this camera, which is also using that camera, it's on the stand, so I can move it a bit closer. Right, Bernard? Well, first of all, I just want to make sure that I've got everything up and toasty, which I should have done before I started. Yeah, but I didn't. So I do apologise. This is all a bit random. La 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 da da da. So what we're going to do, we'll be cutting some more mortises. Carry on with this this little cabinet door. I might cut by hand, or we might use the radial arm saw. I haven't quite decided just yet, but we'll see. We will see. So I've got to switch account. I'm on the wrong account. Oh god. Oh no, not. I'm on the right account. That's the right account. So I need to go on to that one. Door channel. Yeah. So I'm having all sorts of problems with cameras. Got one person watching so far. Oh, it was a start. It was a start. Or was that me? Might be me. Oh dear. Right, let's close that. Oh, it's Gingers! Hello, Gingers! Where's Wally? Well, Wally's in front of the fire in the living room. That he is. He's, yeah, he's not stupid. No, but I obviously am, because I'm in here. You know, I'm starting trouble with my cameras. I've got two cameras working at the moment. I've got the overhead camera working. Oh, putting that down. Just a second. Now my compressor's going. Yeah, so I've got my overhead camera. Should be working, but oh, see, no, there you go. That's working. So I can show a bit closer. So we've already started putting these joints together, as I showed you last time I was live. This one here, I think was it yesterday? I can't remember that. Right there. We have this joint. Bring it this way a bit. That one there, as you can see, that's a mortise and tenon joint. We cut that by hand. Apart from the mortise, we cut using the hollow chisel mortiser, which we've got another hole here which we already cut. Or two mortises there, that's double mortise. So now what I need to do, I need to cut the next set of tenons, which is there, like so. That's face, isn't it? That's face, yeah, that's face. So we need to cut two tenons on the end of this piece, so that can be slotted into there. And the opposite face is going to be done with the domino dowler. And I have my reasons for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to, well, cut this. So how long is my cable? Can I get close enough? If I come over here with this camera here, can I get close enough so I can show you the radial arm saw? Because I did it by hand yesterday, didn't I? I think it was yesterday. So we've got the radial arm saw here. Yes. Why, it's long enough. This is all very kind of, oh my god, risky. I'm pulling cables out. Oh my, bits of wood everywhere. What a mess. Oh, I don't know. That's because I've been busy. Been making stuff, I have. Right. Oh, I've got a brush. That's a better idea. Use a brush. Right, so I need to cut my tenon, which is the male bit. Yeah, it's the bit that goes in the hole. Okay. Now, being I've already cut a tenon on that one, right? I can use that to set my tenon up. You know, by cutting on here. So last time we cut it with a handsaw, this time we're going to cut it using this. Now, what I generally do, I'll make sure I've got this nearby, so I can just double check I'm not going to stray with my cut. So I've got to set this, the height of this saw. This is a DeWalt radial arm saw, so I need to set the height of that where it needs to be. Yeah, so it doesn't cut all the way through. So it just takes a little bit. Now you can change this. The blade in this, if you want, if you're doing a lot of them, you can change the blade with a dado head. It's basically dado head. It's a set blade. Like that. Yeah, it's a set of blades that go together. Yeah, you have chippers and you have the blades. And what you do is you can take out a lot more material at a time with it. They're quite dangerous actually, but yeah. So that's what that's a dado. And they're great for doing when you're doing your tenons and stuff, but I hardly ever do that sort of work, so it sits in the drawer, hardly ever getting used. So we're just going to use the blade itself. So it means you've got to make more passes Still going to do the same job. It's better with a dado cutter, I admit, but it'll still work. It'll still do what it needs to do. So first thing, we need to set the height of the blade. And we do this with this little lever on the back here. So basically, I'm going to make the blade higher than the let's put that on there like that. At the moment, it's still too low. I'm hitting the blade, you see, it's still too low. I need to go higher. Still too low. So I pass it under. Still a little bit low. I'd rather be a little bit high than low at this stage, because we're going to just run a little test first. So we'll bring us back so, like so. And I'm going to nibble, yum yum, nibble the edge. Oh, look at my back bench needs adjusting. Right, so I'll just nibble a little bit on the end here and turn it over, nibble a little bit, another bit, and just see whether or not it's correct width for the tenon itself, for the mortar side. And I'll bring it right through. For about, what, about 3 mil, about 1/8 of an inch. And the same on the opposite face. And I'll have a look to see whether or not I think that is going to be able to fit in there. I know, even from here, I can already see it's too wide. It ought to slot in there. So, that just tells me. If you're setting up a batch, it's really quick and easy, you see. You can actually just, set that once and run loads of pieces through. And they all end up being the same. Another way to check and make sure if it is, what you can do is you can grab your verniers, if you've got some verniers. And remember, I think that's 3/8, wasn't it? So that's going to go in there. I know that fits in there now. So put the verniers in, like that, like so. And that distance on either side of there, which is for the internal measurement, is exactly the same now as that gap there. So basically, my tenon needs to be the same thickness as that, or be able to fit in that space. You could argue you could use the end there as well. All those measurements will be the same. In this case, it's saying it is just shy of 10 mil, which is about 3/8 of an inch. In old money, or is that new money? Who knows these days? As you see there, that is still way too wide. So let's do another pass. Now I've lowered it a little bit. That's still too wide, or too thick. I'll lower it a little bit more. If anything, that's now a little bit on the loose side, so let's go up a little bit more. And that should be about right. So I'll carry on with that. Let's double check, it's a tad thicker. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So now I'm going to do that all up to the line. Before we do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that line first on that face. Then I'm going to put a stop in. So when I flip it over, I'm not relying on the line to make sure both shoulders are in the same place. The stop would dictate that, and that way I guarantee it's going to be exactly correct instead of relying on my eye with the line. So before I carry on now, I don't want to move this. I want to put a stop here. Yeah? Whatever I can find to put there. It could be that even. That'll work. And then when I actually do my... That'll work. That'll do it. Find a clamp here. So when I flip that over, that'll be in exactly the same place. I know I'm using speed of wood, so it doesn't really matter. providing that doesn't interfere with that. It's quite an old machine, this. So, you know, if you had a more modern machine, or I could fit actual stops near the blade. I normally, that's what this piece of wood here is generally. I clamp stops onto this for longer pieces, but you could do something a bit shorter, really. So that's the other place you could actually just clamp it straight onto there. Actually, it might be better. Do it this way. Make sure you haven't moved it. So you make sure you're in the slot there, and then tap your bit of wood, not hard, just up to it. And now I can clamp it to there. That's a good thing about these sort of speed clamps, is because you don't have to turn a handle or a wheel or anything, you know, which would interfere with the top. But that's is now in exactly where it needs to be. I'll wheel that back, and now if I flip this around, that'll be exactly in the same place. Next cut, the code being aside. So now it's coming on. Makes light work off it, as you can see. So I'll do the same on the other side. Obviously, if your dado head fitted, you'd end up with a flatter cut, but also you'll be cutting as fast for 3 or 4 passes, and that would have done the job. So it's worth putting in if you've got plenty to do, but I haven't. There you go. Hopefully, it's the right width all the way along. And it looks pretty good. Doesn't look bad at all. So I'll just make sure it fits into the slot for the mortise. That's a perfect fit. Absolutely perfect. I'm happy with that. Yeah. See, there's no hands. You see that? There's no hands. There you go. There's no hands. All right. Let's take her back to the bench, which means I need to take you back to the bench as well. Are you coming with me? Oh, okay. Follow me. Oh, kicking things. Not a great idea. No. Oh, Duke Vengeance. Hello, Duke. It's the Duke. Hello, Duke. Hope you're well. People probably didn't get notifications because I just went live. Was that a wise move? I don't know. Maybe. Right. Oh, let's go and YouTube help. I don't need YouTube help. I just need you. Right. So next thing, I've got to cut all the shoulders and what have you for those tenons. I'm just going to pop things out. No, not like that. No. Don't be so saucy. I'm nearly there. Nearly there. I'll be waiting a second. And then we'll carry on cutting that joint. La 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 la. Right. Why is my internet taking so long? Shouldn't do. I tested it before I came live. I hope your end's okay. Right. That's okay there. That looks okay. It's taking forever. Blimey. Could be just YouTube. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, I've got 4 people here. Makes a change. Here we go. Here's the top chat. Live chat. Right, Esther, hello there. Hey, Susan, I hope the family is well. Okay, so what we've done is we just cut a tenon onto this piece of wood. That one there. I don't know if you can see that one there. I'm looking at the wrong screen. I need to get the other screen up as well so I can see what's going on. There you go. Making sure I'm in frame. So we cut the tenon on there, but at the moment it's too wide. It ain't gonna go into this double hole. No. So next stage, we need to make space. So we've got to create some spaces so it can slide in, because there's double mortise and tenon. And we just cut this on the radial arm saw instead of by hand. Whereas the other side, which is over there, I'll grab it in a minute, I'll need it. We cut by hand, but this one we use machine. So I'm just trying to do it all different ways, you see. So now I need to transfer marks, yes, onto the tenon, so I know exactly where to cut it. I left my good pencil again in the house. I've been using it in the bathroom, you see. I'll shower room, down to the shower room, fixing that because it was in a mess. And I keep leaving it in there. Okay, so that is pretty much there. That's there. Well, if you ever put mark on and you put it in the wrong place, I'll put the other camera on. Right, if you ever put a mark on, you put it in the wrong place, like I did that one. Put the next mark longer, because then you know that one's a mistake. You'll screw it out if you want. Yeah. So now I know I need to cut down there, and down there, which you can use your. We can use our little engineer square. An engineer square is such a great tool to have for workshops. I know it's an engineer square, but it's just so useful. Because you've got your 45 there as well. This is quite good. This one actually came with a protractor guide as well, which I don't generally need or use, so it doesn't get used. And in fact, I don't even know where it is. Probably one of the little drawers in that cabinet, actually. Right, so I've got 1, 2, 3 cuts to make, which we'll do with a handsaw. Could do it with a chisel. You cut that way, you can even pair them off. That one you can't. The reason why you can't do that with a chisel really is you can cut through there with a chisel, right? But as soon as you start trying to cut this way with the chisel, because the thickness of the chisels are good. So let's say for instance you're using this chisel here, and you push that chisel in there like so to try and do your first cuts. Once you made your first cuts, it won't be a problem. But once you do your first cut, you get it splitting your piece of wood. So you don't want to do that, because it's a big wedge basically, isn't it? So what you do is you need to remove some material before you even attempt to touch it with a chisel. You do that with a saw. Now, this piece here is a bit awkward to do on the internal. Now, some people cut these out with a bandsaw, and then you can nibble that out with a bandsaw if you want. Do it that way, and the same on that one, but we're going to do it with a handsaw. So that area there, we've got to be able to remove that. And we can do that using a coping saw. If I remember where I put it. Where did I put my coping saw? That's a good point actually. Where did I put my coping saw? I had this problem before. I think, where did I put my coping saw? Then I found it. And it's actually on a rack somewhere. And I can't remember whereabouts it's actually, or what rack it's actually on. It's not that rack, no. Not there. I thought it was up there somewhere. No, it's not up there. One of them tools I hardly ever use. Not up there, no. Oh, I see it is in the cabinet. That's okay, it's in the cabinet. I look at it every single day and I still can't remember where I put it. I think I've got a little bit of dementia going on. Right, so what we're going to cut that. I didn't realise there's around 100 types of dementia, isn't there? I didn't know at all. Bizarre. Right, so we have a back saw. A back saw because it has a back. Pretty simple. We're just going to cut down. I don't need to mark it or anything like this. I've got one line on this face here. It's enough for me to see what I need to do. I know you're on a bit of the skew if there. I could actually hold the camera a bit. Oh, wait. Okay, we'll go for that. We'll go for that. Camera's on the P now. That don't matter. Right, so we're going to That's waste, so it's a good idea. If you're not sure, we're going to remove that piece there, we'll remove that piece there, and that's it. So we cut there, and there. So there we go. You don't go too fast, so you just need to go enough just to get close to the bottom. There we go. And this one. Oh! Love me tender, love me true, never let me go. Oh, squeaky! If you've got a bit of squeakiness going on, you want a bit of candle wax. Well, this actual wax here is what I get from the well, the places we do the conserves and stuff. Be Korea in my case, and it's you melt up to go on top of your jam and stuff. Right, so we've got 3 cuts that way, and now we only need to do our other cuts. Right, we've got one there that needs to be done. That cut there, which I talked about earlier, which you'll be careful of because in between 2 spaces, so you're a bit trapped. So there's that one, and there's that one. So I'll do the easy one first. Just that one. Go into the 2 shoulders, the shoulders of that tenon, and slowly. There you go. Good. Goody gumdrops, goody gumdrops. Now we need to cut that one. Get rid of that bit in the middle. That's got to go. You got to go. That's it. That's it. It's got to go there. So, what am I doing that? Like I said, is with a coping saw. It can cope with it quite nicely. Don't give up your day job. What day job? Oh my God! A friend of mine has like one of them free newspapers, a bit like what you have, like the Anglian and the Mercury, all those sort of newspapers. But you have like a French version in English, you know, for those expats, all mean immigrants. Yes, here in France. Well, he just put an announcement out that this month is the last edition. He's having to give up. And why is that? Brexit. The problem is there isn't the amount of how easy was that? The amount of businesses here paying for advertising because it's a free paper, you see. So yeah, he's decided enough is enough. He's been going for 13 years, so it's a bit of a shame. Lovely guy, Stephen Martindale, really nice chap. Let's clean that off there like so, and just make sure everything is hunky dory there. That's good. So then we're just going to test it and make sure it will go. The male bit will go into the female bit. Yeah. Right. Now, the reason why we stepped it like so, remember these are 2 different sizes as well, aren't they? And the reason why we stepped it back here is because I don't want obviously the tenon poking out the bottom here. It looks stupid. Alright, so we've got a double tenon there. Now, we haven't tested and checked it or anything, have we? Hopefully, it will go in there. If it doesn't, we're going to have to do a bit of extra work. And I would say it's probably on the top too tight. Because what will happen is you'll spray it across there. And I don't want to do it, so you can put, you'll damage it. You'll damage your style or your piece of timber here, yeah? You don't want to do that. Just notice that there's sawdust at the bottom of that. Trapped bits in the bottom of that one. You obviously make sure that's clear. Because if it's in, you're not going to get the joint together. That's good now. Right. So because that's still a little bit thick. Just fraction, just a touch. There's various ways we can do this. Now I'm not going to do it that way. Oh, am I? It doesn't actually matter. Actually, it doesn't matter in this case. We'll do it that way. Right. There's another tool I can show you. A tool that I can. And I'm not talking about me, because I know I'm a tool. That I am. Right, we are going to use a thing called a shoulder plane. And there's a variety of different shoulder planes. I've got my lovely old record here, which I've had for absolute donkey's years. This is a shoulder plane. And why is it called a shoulder plane? Because it has shoulders. It means it can actually cut right up against the shoulder. Like that, yeah? And I've brought different price. This is number 42, which is about 3/4 wide, 20mm wide. And it's, it's a substantial thing. Solid, yes, proper. Good machine, or tool. Oh, excuse me, wire. And then we have this little, oh my God, state that. This is another tool. It looks like I need to sharpen and sort out because humidity's got to it. So those faces need polishing off again, and I need to take a bit of care. You can see what's happened there. The blade itself, or the plane iron, is also blunt. I can see it's a bit shiny. But that's the one I want to use, really. It's ideal for this job, just to clean up those shoulders. That's what I would use. So basically you use it like that on these shoulders, and you'd literally just do that. Yeah? You could even remove this section here, so it becomes a chisel plane. So this piece here, you can take off, and use that so you can get right up against a shoulder, that way. But usually go the other way. Well, this is good enough. That's just taking off the highs from the saw blade of the actual blade arm saw. This is a bit awkward here. The way you can do it is you grab yourself a nice sharp chisel, like this one, and we can just literally just pare it. Yeah, we don't really need a paring chisel because we don't need the reach. But this is a Robert Sorby bevel edge chisel. I've had this thing donkey's years. I even made that handle years ago. Eventually the handles, they get damaged, you see. Especially if you're a bit aggressive with them. And it's splitting the actual handle. I can't remember what handle it had on there. I think it might have been... Was it a boxwood handle? No, I don't think it was. No, it wasn't boxwood. Might even been beech. I don't particularly like beech things. That's quite a brittle timber. I'm just cleaning that off there like so. What I'm trying to do really is remove some of the highs of the saw blade, because I was using the regular arm saw, and the edge, the cut doesn't have a flat bottom to the cut. So let's try it now. That might be just enough. We don't need much. Let's have a look. That way around. So it should just slide in there nicely now. Yeah, perfect. Parfait. Parfait, see. There you go. See? Look, how about that? I'm quite happy at that. So we've got that one going to go on here like that, which will be a fixed glue joint with a peg. And then we've got the other face, or the opposite end, the other rail or ledge. That way around, like so. 1 to 1. There you go. You can see that? No, you can even see that. It's me showing you, you can't even see it. Oh my god, a bit more that way. That way. No? Yeah, that way. Oh, it's not there. So that's going to be glued up there tight, and that's going to be glued up there tight. But what about the opposite side? What about this side here? Well, that is where we're going to be using our domino dowler. And I'll be using loose tenons. In this case, I'm going to be using, they're like big round oval dowels. Alright, so on the next stage, I need to mark and cut. Now, originally when I marked the tenons on both sides, but we're not now. No, it makes sense to use a domino dowler because that is going to be a loose tenon, so we can take the whole thing apart. I don't remember me saying that we want to be able to remove the actual panel from inside, you see. In case of, yeah, they get worn up, you see. That they do. Hello, Beach. Hope you're well. Duke Benjamin to see here. Just a man messing with his wood. Oh, sorry. Teresa Kofi. Have you been watching my videos? Huh? Have you been watching my Kofi video? Maybe. Oh dear. She's been causing trouble at the National Farmers Union conference. I think it was Monday and Tuesday, I think it was. Anyway, she was useless. She had nothing to offer. She did her kind of rehearsed speech, and that was it. She really did not want to be there. And got to the point where people, yeah, the farmers are just, I don't know. The story goes is that they were actually booing her. I'd love to have been there and watch that. That would make me tickle. That would. Right, okay. So that is going to be going, you know, there. That's what I'm going to be doing. Doing that. It's going to be going there. La 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 la. She's so awful. You're not wrong. Oh God. Guess what, Duke? She's so awful. Just got censored. In the chat. So I'm going to show it, okay? I'll press the button. That's fine. Don't worry about that one. I don't think there's exactly... Like, how can there be a problem with that? It's so awful. And it got flagged up. Come on. That's just silly. YouTube's gone stupid. Oh my god. I probably got. Oh, that's it. I'm going to get a strike now, aren't I, for saying that? Right. God's sake. Well, what have I done my decent tape measure? It's around here somewhere. I haven't got a clue. So I have to use a different one. I keep pulling tape measures out of this drawer and they're slaying them in the actual workshop. So I suppose it isn't that clever, really, is it? I do. Nasty little tape measure. That it is. Oh, I've got my measurements here. Well, here's my measurements. 598 or 610. So we're going to 610 and then I'll plane it to size, to, you know, overall size. Now I know that that mark here that I've already put on here is actually in the wrong place. Yeah. Back to there we go. Have I done it right? Did it work? Oh, yes it did. I need more screens. Might be a good idea to actually have the other screen on. Oh, that's an idea. I might do it as a yeah, as a second screen, not as a duplicate. Right, so this needs to be 610 wide. So basically, I need to pull this piece of wood out here. Got to pull your wood. Yeah, as you know, you always got to give it a good old tug. Yeah, you would. Right, so like that. It needs to be 610, like so. And that tells me, because it's got a butt joint, you see, this one. So yeah, got to be about. Oh, just to let you know, we managed to teach our grandchild pain in the bum. Yeah, we're talking about the dog and her dog actually, and we're saying it's pain in the bum, and all she'll say now is pain in the bum, pain in the bum. So I went a step further, and I said, "Nana's a pain in the bum." I made it a song. It was fun. She thought it was funny anyway. I bet you disapprove, don't you? Right, let's pull that wood out of his hole. Oh my giddy aunt. Oh my god. Put some lube on it. Oh my giddy aunt. Some jelly maybe. But anyway. So I've got my mark on here, which I've done with my mark here. I've got to ignore the marks already on there because they're incorrect. We don't want those marks. We're not going to use them. And this material is going to be removed completely because we don't need that either. And this one's a little bit narrow. So I'm going to grab my Rabone Chesterman. This one here. Very old. You see, gingers like this, it's all imperial. Yeah. That used to be in the olden days. It's quite old, this thing. It used to be, actually, I can't remember. Is it one of my father's or was it the other one of my father's? No, the other one. I've got old Stanley up there, but that's actually got a metric one as well. Don't know. I've had it a long time anyway. Oh my god, she's coming in there. Oh, I've got a test. I've got to do a test.
Keto cheese sauce.
Oh no, keto cheese sauce. Oh my god, what with lupin flour?
Let's just try it.
Oh, I've got to do a test.
Before I put
it's
it on,
yellow.
Before I put it on your pasta and your sausage.
I'm on a keto diet and not low carbs, you see, but lupin flour, which tastes a bit strange. What was that taste of lupin flour? It's all like marzipan in it.
Yeah, well,
it's a bit strange. Gonna do a test, you see. Is this going to be?
Any good?
Cheese straws.
Ooh,
ooh, rub it in more, don't you? I think that'll work. Cheese straws quite well. Actually, probably better than ordinary flour.
cheese sauce.
Oh, cheese sauce for the pasta. I've also talked about cheese straws.
No, cheese sauce.
Yeah, because it's got kind of like cheesy kind of.
I've got your tomato with the sausage pasta. Yeah, and then put this on top. Is that okay?
What's that remind me of?
Is that okay? Will that do?
I have to. It's called a sacrifice.
He's a guinea pig.
Well, guinea pig. I know. I've got to eat something. You see. I tell you what, it's been boring. Low carb diets are really boring unless you've got time to really think it through and what am I going to have and going to cook this and cook that. Oh, cloud bread and all that sort of stuff, which is horrible. And what else is there? God. If you're on a keto diet, I think you just have to give up any notion of bread because all the options are awful. So the only problem with this lupin flour, it does have a bit of a taste to it, an aftertaste. Yeah, it does. Ugh. Oh well, never mind. I am losing a bit of weight though. Actually, my clothes are a lot looser than they were, which is a good sign. So I can't. Yeah, I shouldn't belly play because I do need to do something. I've done it before. I've done keto diet before. I lost 20 kilos on it, so I know it works. The only problem is some people say, oh, diets don't work. I agree to an extent, but you've got to get rid of the weight in the first place, haven't you? So, yeah, there should really be a lifestyle change. More activity would be quite good. So sit in front of the computer. Yeah. I spend a lot of time in front of a computer, I do. So you can see here, I've marked it, I'll create 2 marks, one here and one there, using the, the square. This is an old, very old bone Chesterman, and it's just in Imperial. And I've used that to mark my 90 degrees. Yeah, perpendicular to the edge, off the end of that. And I used my marker knife, which I made, out of an old saw blade. And that's walnut, not walnut handle. So there's a video actually on here, me making this. So on this channel. But it's a Kiradashi style marking knife made out of a saw blade. And I'm going to make some more. I might make some carving chisels actually, because this is a brilliant marker knife. I like it, I do. You get a lot of grip, and yet you can get a nice flat. One side is flat, you see, get up against your mark on the knee. So what we're going to do now, we're going to cut them off. And I'm going to use the rail arm saw for that, because it gives you a smooth and straight cut. So we're going to go over to there. I'm only operating 2 cameras at the moment, you see. Just 2 cameras. The third works actually. I've got a third camera working. But I can't seem to get it working anywhere else. So I've got to work what's going on here, because it's all gone a bit loopy. Everything was working fine. And now it isn't. It appears to be data. It can't process the data. So it's a computer problem. It might be a mix of everything. It might be that, power. So I'm going to order another power supply. I found one online. Oh, it might as well better do that in a minute. Bigger one than what's in there anyway. But I think a lot of it is the actual computer itself. You might have, like on a computer, right? It might say that, oh, you've got 4 ports, USB ports. And then you find out it's 4 ports, but literally on one. So effectively what it is a USB adapter, 4-way adapter, inside your machine. It's a lie then, isn't it? It's not really 4 ports. Which means it can handle limited bandwidth. This isn't very helpful. Ideally, I need a new computer. To be honest, I could probably get away. I don't think the processor is the problem in the computer itself. I think it's just the USB ports. So if I change the motherboard, that might solve it. It might be better than actually, because motherboards aren't that expensive. Yeah, it's an i5 processor in the Intel i5, so it's not the fastest processor in the world, but it ain't bad. And I don't think that's the issue here. I don't. Right, so that goes there, like so. That goes there. Like so. Like that. Yeah, just like that. In there. Ooh, in you go. That's it, in there like so. Beautiful fit that is. And these two are going to go up there like that, right? But like I mentioned, I want to be able to, at any time, whenever I choose, whenever I take the fancy, as I do, fit madness maybe, I want to be able to remove this from the door itself. The reason is that so I can slide out the panel so it is replaceable. I know I repeat myself sometimes, but I don't know if other people are coming in and out, you see. Oh, the wood. Yeah, so, because these are whiteboards, this is, when we bought it, had this old horrible metal frame with it. Then I put it in a wooden frame, and now we're going to put it in this. And the idea being is the door on a niche cupboard in my office, and it gives us a dry whiteboard, which I'm able to see on when I'm doing my live streams and stuff like that. So I put notes and highlight things on there. I'll tell you what though, God, going live like that, what we have been doing, that's full on. When you're doing it on your own, it's really hard work. And I know I seem a bit kind of ad hoc and a bit crazy when I'm doing those live streams, but it takes a hell of a lot of planning and work, Sometimes I wonder if it's worthwhile doing. because you know I know you get obviously some generous people. Always got people do the Patreon and stuff like occasional buy coffees and stuff like that, and obviously the super chats occasionally. But if you work it out, the amount of time you put into it and what you're actually getting out of it, you have to think: could I spend my time better elsewhere? Because I have got, you know, I am of the opinion now that YouTube isn't for everybody. I don't want to say it's not for me, because I'll carry on doing this. That's definitely I'll carry on doing the other channel as well, or other channels as well. But that isn't really my point. My point is that I have to balance myself because I've got to make a living. So I have to think where do I put my efforts? So I don't understand those. Some channels, when I watch their videos, don't get me wrong, my videos aren't great by no means, but when I watch some people's videos, I wonder, how did you get 50,000 views on that? It's not even your content. You know, that's what I don't understand. I tell you what, my videos that do the best are the ones without me in it. I think that's a sign. Yeah, regurgitated content. You know. Oh dear, there's some people on YouTube. There's some sort of thing. Like Daily Blase and stuff like that. I love Daily Blase. He's a lovely guy. But he does a lot of regurgitated content, doesn't he? You know, from Parliament and stuff like that. And he's getting incredible views. And even with the videos he's put up where you can see through him when he's done a green screen, put badly, like his arm missing off of him. I think it's 100,000 views on it or something like that. It's just nuts. I mean, how's this possible? Oh, never mind. So, I sound a bit jealous, don't I? I am jealous of his views. He's doing really well. You know, got a hat off to the guy. But I do like David Blase. He's a really nice bloke. Probably why, because I'm an arrogant bastard. So, I said it. Okay. So the next step is we're going to have to be using the Festool. Yes, the Festool. One of my more expensive purchases as far as power tools are concerned, other than my machines. It's a great machine. I have showed you this thing before. I think I might even... I will back in a second. I was going to have to grab my box. I need my box. The box is coming your way, so I can show you my box. And inside the box, there's a special tool. It's not me. And it's not... Oh! It's not elf either. No. It's a Festool domino down. Oh, yes, it is. Yeah, and I bought this. It's paid for itself time and time again. And I was making a lot of frames and window frames and stuff and door frames and stuff, even shutters and what have you. I was using this machine a lot. And it's brilliant. I've got to get this dude. It's brilliant. And it's just come up to the end of its patent now, so I won't be surprised next few years we might start seeing DeWalt and Makita and various other brands, Maffel, copying elements of its design. So unless they've managed to new patent, on the elements, because though they copy the bit, the concepts is what get copied, not necessarily the whole thing in one hit. But it's a brilliant thing. It basically drills an oval hole. Yes, got special oval drill bits. Did you know that? Did you know that you get oval drill bits? Well, I'll show you in a minute. Yeah. For cutting oval mortars. Now, some of you might have already seen me use this machine, because I have showed it on this channel before. There's a Festool domino dowler, and it's brilliant. And flipping expensive. They're about €1,400 now. It's a lot of money. I can't argue. Be too fussy. What's the word? Too worried about the price. I bought it now. So I've got it now, you see. So we'll go to the camera. I'm going to go and grab my dominoes. I don't know if I go for 6s, 5s, 4s, 3s or 2s or 1s. I don't really know. I'm grabbing the box with my dominoes in. Oh! The box that happens to have other stuff in it that's not supposed to be in it. Never mind. Alright. Dominoes! That's a domino dowler. And these are the dominoes. So basically they're like an oval dowel. I just, you can buy these things already cut, and, you know, ready to go. But I just make them myself because they're actually really expensive for what they are. Oh, 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 mousetrap. Alright, so we're going to be using these. I'm going to find an ideal, find the best ones. Some are slightly narrow because there's two widths this will cut. Just on a lever on the side here. Yeah. This lever here, you go short, narrow, or wide. Probably going to be the narrow side to start with. Because these are, I think these are cut for the narrows. Those. And then I've got slightly wider ones. No, not that one. There's some wide ones around there somewhere. Well, it normally would be. But that one, that's fractionally about a millimetre or so wider. So we won't worry about that at the moment. We'll just do it narrow cut first. And there's various ways you can use this nifty little machine. You can mark it and use the sight guide and line up the sight on the pins. You know, line up the sight on the mark, sorry, and do the same on the other side. And just, so what you do is you put a line right across like that. You do it like you would do if you do it using a biscuit joiner, for instance, which is a similar principle but rubbish in comparison. Now I've got to choose now which one's going to be glued and which one's going to be dry. Because one side I'm going to glue, and the other side will remain dry. I think this is going to be the dry piece, and that will be the rigid piece. That's what I think. I don't think it matters that much. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. But that's my plan. That's what I'm going to do. We're not putting the panel in yet, and we're not going to cut the groove yet. In this stream, I just want to get this door glued up. That's what I want to do. So, yes, I could grab a pencil. I've mislaid my pencil again. Is that 2 HP? HBs are no good. I don't want HBs in my workshop. No good at all. Woodworking. Oh, I've got one here as well. Look. So what I do is I'll use a square again. I've got to make sure I've lined up how I want it. So it'll be up against that end there. And then I'll say put a mark right along there like so. And there. So I'd put 2 in. Yeah? The other way you can do it is you can use these special little pins. You've got these guide pins, you see, in this thing. Yeah, it's quite clever. So you've got these little pins. These things. These little spring-loaded pins. So all you've got to do is put them all out of the way. Oh, we don't need them all out, do we? No. Right, so my first one on the side here, I'll say, okay, then we want to be fairly close to the edge. So that's fairly close to the edge. Go further in on that end there if I wanted to, like so. And that would put it. I'll show you whereabouts it would be. It'd literally be about there. So the centre line would be about here, which is about right. So let's demonstrate that, shall we? You've got to set your height. At the moment, it's too high. So move it back, slot it down, and it's 10 mil, which means the centre mark, the centre line of the domino or the mortise will be 10 mil down from the edge. Now this is 27 mil thick. So really it could do with being a little bit deeper, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't matter to that degree. So if I wanted to, I could say to myself, well, 10 mil is a little bit shy, so I'm going to bring it up just a touch. You just got to remember, you've got to do the same on every single one, and always cut from the same side. So I brought just past 10 mil, so now this is going to be loose. So 10 mil's loose now. So it's just over 10 mil. Right, so if I look on here, I can measure this, if I so wish, and I can have a look. What is that measurement there? Because I'm planing my wood down to about 25 mil now, you see. So that is about 11 mil to the centre, and that should be about 25 mil. So it's not quite middle of the wood, but it doesn't matter. That'll be near enough, I think. I think. Let's have a look. There's a centre mark on here. Bring it over the edge because maybe a little bit deeper. Yeah, I'm happy at that, I think. Alright, now when you do this, what you do need to do is have it so it's hanging off the edge. And I'm not going to mark this one. We're not going to mark it. I'm going to take it out of there, like so. But what I will do is I'll clamp it down. So I'm going to use a hold down, like so. But it's got to be off the edge, alright? Because if it isn't, the bench will interfere with the bottom of the sole. If it was a bit thicker, it wouldn't be a problem. But because it's the thickness it is, it's not going to clear the bottom of the thing. So you end up the bottom of the actual sole plate of the Festool Dom Dowder, and you'll end up being too high. So I'm not going to be using any marks. All I'm going to do is say that's the bottom of the door. So I'm working from the bottom of the door. So make sure you do that every time. I'll just place that on there like so. And then we'll just make a cut. Oh, what have I forgot? How deep am I going to have my domino? Well, I've got say 40mm at the moment. There's a slider on the side here, which basically means it's going to be 40mm. I'll show you there. Yeah, set to 40mm on there. That's what we do. So we're working from the bottom, which is R, up to that pin, which is sticking out, which is that one, and then we're going to make a cut. So instead of having to use marks, I can put that exactly where it needs to be onto this piece of wood just by working from this side again, but on the opposite pin. So that one there, I would make sure that that pin is out. So I'm going to work from the opposite face. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing again. And this time I'm going to do that. And I'm just going to hand hold it this time. I'm not going to worry about fixing it. You know, it's best to put, yeah, obviously clamp it, it'd be better, wouldn't it? But I'm not going to. Right, so now we've got, where's my airline? Yeah, normally I have a dust extractor attached to that. And then all your holes are clear, and you'll get all this build up inside the actual domino down there. You see, you get, you know, there, because there's a slide in there, and if you get that build up in there, that prevents you pushing it all the way in. If you can't push it all the way in, you end up with shallow holes without realising. Let's just get rid of that there. There. So we've got our first mortars there and there, but on this one we're going to have two mortars. No. Okay, so now I think we're the second one. Now, okay, I can put a mark and do what I said before. The good thing about this machine, it's a really easy way of doing this. Because of these pins, I can say to myself, okay, let's get these out of the way for the moment. I'm going to start with on this end, so I'm using this one here. I can actually use that pin, put it into the mortars I just cut, pull it along, and it'll be in the, yeah, I'm happy with that. That's about where I want it. So now I can cut another one. And now I'm going to do it on the opposing face. So we've just been using that end there. We're now going to use that end here, like so. Yeah. Onto this piece of timber, and then I'll obviously mimic that again. I'll do that again, but I'll do it quickly to get the same one. So I'm in the mortars, putting it along, make sure I put pressure that way, and now I just push it in. Turn it on. Now this drills an oval hole. I could actually show you that, I suppose. If I just let's put in there. There's a little tool for this, but I haven't got my hand. That probably just do. If I just pull that a bit, there you go. That slides off. But basically, if you look at this, what it'll do Well, it actually does. It rotates like a drill bit, but oscillates as well. Oh, I just thought of another use for that. Like a rabbit. Anyway, so we'll slide that back on again because obviously we need to cut the other mortise. Right, there we go. So go on here like that. Like so. All right, now you do the opposite side. So we've now got mortises in both pieces of wood. We've got two mortises here, one there and one there, in the end there, and they should join up with the two mortises in this piece of wood. Obviously a bit of cleaning up to do, but it's not much like that. But I've got the other end to do. So we've got this other end, you know, we need to put one in here. So we're always working from the same face. Ideally, you should actually, you know, say what face that is. So it's face. So you don't make silly mistakes. Right, so that one is ready, pretty much. And it's going to be going up there like so. So now we're going to do the opposite side. Do that one now. So we've got that end to do now. So I'll put that over there. That's the face, and that's going to go onto there. And that one, you could do a double, probably get away with, you might have enough room in there to do another double. Or a single would probably suffice. But if I put a single in there, there's a possibility that's going to twist. If that isn't, yeah, that shouldn't twist because it's, you know, they're flat on the sides, but there's not a lot of, you know, space. So I might see if I can get away getting a double in there, ideally. So first of all, we're going to cut this one first. So I'll use the clamp again, because it does make it a little bit safer. Always working from the outside face, using the pins. Using the pins are far more accurate for a start. And I've got a low room for two in this one, so probably going to be going about quite close to the edge on that one, so I get enough room to get the next one in. Now you don't want to work from there and then decide to work from that edge, because if there's an accumulative error or an error at all between your rail, and besides, how are you going to do the one in this face? Because you won't have that edge to work off, so it'll be guesswork. Now I'm going to cut the second mortise and decide on where base ought to be, about there. And is it the outside one or the second? I'm going to go for this. That's the second one. So I don't make a mistake. I'm going to make sure I've got the second pin in. That's it. Don't check my audio. Hello, Bernard. I hope you're well. I've got the camera a bit closer for you. Hello, Mike McGurk. Hello, all, and whatever that means. Is it Japanese, Chinese, or is it just pretty? I don't know. And he said hi, and your style is unique. Just a little bit. If you see my other channel. Oh, dear. Apparently, everybody, I've got a unique style. Oh, dear. Oh, well, never mind. Right, so we now need to stick those two little mortises onto the other side, because it's a loose tendons of what we're doing. So we've got to get them onto there. And to do that, remember what pins they were, we're going to start from the outside edge. Let's clamp again. Go on, let's use the clamp again. All right, but on the opposite face. Clean up the airline because I ain't got dust extractor fitted. Just bring the camera around a little. There you go. Right, so we're now doing this face here now. Put the mortises in there, which have to marry up. Get this right in my head now. That says its face is that way. Got my two mortises in there. So it'll be that way around. Oh, that's correct, that way, isn't it? Yeah, of course it is. Or like that. So it is the way around. Yeah. Right, we'll start with the middle pin, if I remember rightly. So we'll get that out of the way, that middle pin. Or was it the middle pin? I can't remember now. Oh my god, no, I'm losing the plot now. Right, was it middle pin or was it the internal pin? Because I can't remember. It was that middle. That was the end, wasn't it? Yeah, it was the end. Right, so we're going to start with the end pin to do the first mortise. Pop them out. There you go. There. Working from the end again. Clear that out. Bum, 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 bum. If you're not certain, you just double check. Oh yeah, that looks good. You know that there was going to be about there. If you're not, 100% confident, and then you can cut your next one. But sticking the pins are literally going to be placed into that mortise for the alignment purposes. Show you. So I'll basically stick the pins in there to line the next one. I think it was there, wasn't it? Yep, bang on. La 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 la. Right. So, more. Don't do that. Oh, go on your face. Oh my dear. Oh my dear. So much for your lungs. Right, let's move that out of the way. I accidentally pull it off the bench. So we've now got these mortises cut. And you can use chisel or whatever you like to make sure they're put a pine, they're a bit fluffy. Pine's a bit fluffy. It's not a bad hair day. It's like a Michael fabricant, that's what it is. Or even Alexander Bostoff Ethel Johnson. I was doing my cards for my videos on the other channel earlier, and I had a picture of Boris Johnson. Does he ever shave properly? I know I haven't shaved recently, but when he shaves, he always leaves a load of hair under his nose or on his lip and stuff. He doesn't do a proper job. Just like he was when he was Prime Minister. Never did a proper job. Well, he didn't do no job really, apart from direct everything. Right, so we now have this ready. We do. Are you ready? Oh. Right, so that's going to go over there. Put the camera a little bit higher for a second. Oh, look at that. That worked, didn't it? It worked. Let's move that out of the way. We don't need that for the moment. Alright, we have that one there. Alright, now we're in the wrong position now, so we need to bring that over a little bit so you can see a bit more what's going on. Alright, let's go in there. Right on the edge. Get right in there. Like that. Yeah. Alright, and we have this one here. It's going to be domino-deed. And we've got a rail there, we've got this rail here, and that's obviously the one that's going to be in over here. Like that. And then we have our mortars and tenons. Got to enjoy what you're doing, don't you? There's something about working with your plan you would, isn't there? It's all fun. It all comes to the end, it does. So, at this stage, if I want, I could glue them up. So I've already dry fitted those joints. These ones here, haven't I? They've already been dry fitted. So I could glue them ready. And these ones here, I could say to myself, ooh. What about my... Oh, I know what I'm going to do first. Before I get carried away, make sure they're the right size. And they are. Oh, look at that. You probably can't see. There you go. Look at that. Oh, there you go. Oh, look at that. There you are. Look. That's a domino can fit into that slot. Oh. And that one's going to go into there, like so. So I know they're 40mm deep. So I don't want to do is do 40 was 80, and I cut these to 80 long, just in case there's any anything stuck in the bottom of these mortars or isn't. Remember, it's a dry fit as well. So we just shy. So I'm going to cut 4 of these to 75mm long. That sounds like a good idea, you know. So yes, I've lost the plot. So easy way of marking, you could use a square. You know, these tools are all good for all sorts of jobs, you know. You get away with 70mm to be honest, but I would say 75 because it's giving me 5mm clearance, so you know it's going to go together. And if it doesn't, because it's a dry joint, you can always pull it apart and trim a bit more off the end if you have to. So that is that. And I need 4 like that. And I'm going to do them on the radial arm saw. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to go over to the radial arm saw. So I'm going to bring you with me. Are you excited? I hope you are. Yeah. Oh, okay. Over here we go. Over to the radial arm saw. This is my lovely DeWalt radial arm saw. It's the 3rd one. It's the oldest one I have ever owned. It's the oldest. Yeah, it's the best one. And it's it's about 3. Is this my 3rd? Yes, my 3rd or 4th radial arm saw over the years. Yeah. They don't last forever, not these DeWalt ones anyway, but this one's been brilliant. Now you could create a stop to do this, and I often have. But there's a problem when you do that with it. I need to find a solution. And the problem is, if you put a stop here, and you pull that one away, and you go and do your next one, what happens is, it's like jackknives between the blade and the stop. That's not helpful. No, because it throws it at you. They get you in the eye or in the head, or it stabs you in the heart. And you know, if you are a vampire by any chance, you just have like eternal, spontaneous human combustion. Well, you wouldn't be human, would you? No, you'd be a vampire. Anyway, so all I do, I've got used to it. I just mark the back fence now like that, and then I'll just push the next one up to, as long as I'm under it, just by fractions enough. Oh no! It's coming in my fingers! So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go that way. Well, I don't want to cut my fingers off, you see. I want to keep the fingers, if I can. Always be frightened of the thing that's going to bite you. Yeah. If you see I don't know. Oh, for argument's sake. A tiger or a leopard or something like that. Or even your cat. If it's going to bite you, be wary. Dogs don't bite people. People bite dogs. My dogs don't bite. No. I lick you to death. Right. So now, I want to put this together with those little dominoes we just cut into there. And we're going to glue, but not all of it. Because this is a loose tenon. I don't want it loose on both sides. I want to create a little bit of rigidity in its construction. They're going to be glued up and clamped up. This side will be glued and clamped up. And that side will be glued and clamped up. But this will remain loose. A bit loose. Yeah, like that. Alright? And that way, if I ever want to tap apart, I can. And slide out my panel. Now you can think, oh my god, that slot deep enough. Well, we'll be doing that with a router afterwards. I don't normally do that actually. But because I didn't want my slot to be going right through top to bottom, I'd have to stop it and stuff like that, and I didn't want to do that. This is a cheat. It's a cheaty way. I'm being cheaty. Let's put that out of the way for a second. So we're going to need some glue to put in my water. So I've got to make sure there's nothing in there, as in no bits of sawdust. That's one way of doing it. The other way is get your airline. But don't look down the hole. Now, I know you could make sure that's not fluffy in there, get your chisel in there and clean up your mortars and stuff like that. Because when you do them with oak work or even chestnut, that is usually really clean your mortars. Whereas you do pine, they can be a bit fluffy. But to be honest, in some ways the fluff helps. That'll grip with the glue, but reinforcing the joint with your fluff. Not bum fluff or belly button fluff, no. I'm talking about your wood fluff. Not that kind of fluff either, not any dirty and what you've got. Oh god, people. There's no stopping you, is there? So what we're going to do, we're going to glue it first. So put your other camera on. There we go here anyway. A moose! About a hoose! That there is. Very Canadian of you. From which country? Oh. From which country am I from? I am from the United Kingdom. We call it the Disunited Kingdom ever since Brexit now. But yes, I'm from the United Kingdom, from a county called Norfolk. And my name is actually it's a historic name. You've got to do a search on it. I'm a descendant of a geezer called Robert Kett. Yeah, pesky geezer he was. He was a tanner, butchers and major landowner. He was a bit of a tyrant in his own right, and he held Norwich to, well, he held Norwich during the wars of Norwich for 30 days until the Crown, the royal family at the time, decided, oh, we're not going to do, we'll get German mercenaries in here and we will get him out. And he did. Yeah, so the really annoying thing about this is the fool, I might have been a major landowner by now, you know. My grandfather had a trace back years ago. So one side of the family goes back to India, and the other side of the family goes, it's quite historic, in Norfolk. So it's quite fun. It's all good fun, you know. Right, so can't guarantee, use a brush if you want, but you can't guarantee the joint is going to have glue everywhere. So a brush is always quite a good idea. Saying that, I can't find it. I've got a pot around somewhere. I'm so disorganised at the moment, I don't know where it is. So I'm just winging it. Say the V, that's what happens, isn't it? So let's put it on the other camera. Oh, we're back again on the camera. Alright, so I'm just having a bit of a squirty glue up there. I hate using my finger, but I'm going to. I usually sort of leave deposits of glue everywhere. I've got my keyboard or something, then I'll be glue all over my keyboard. I'm not so worried about keyboard in here so much, but in my office I've got a nice keyboard in there, so I don't really want a nice Corsair keyboard. I don't really want to put glue all over that. So it's a good idea to wash your hands, I suppose. If you don't get glue, what happens is you just end up with other stuff. You end up like what looks like not like a dead, like old skin on your fingers. I say, yeah. It's a bit like in that movie you got Goldmember, Austin Powers movie where Goldmember he likes to eat his hair, not hair, his skin. Don't he? He's got a pot. He keeps his dried skin in it. It's a bit gross, isn't it? Really? Yeah. I have to admit, I bet I was one of the Mike Myers. Mike Myers, the audio was just brilliant, and absolutely brilliant. What a character! We don't hear much about Mike Myers anymore, do we? I do think it's a shame though. I mean, a lot of these programs and films like that, they'd be really frowned upon these days. You know, they were quite misogynistic, weren't they? You know, the fembops with the machine gun jubblies. But no, yeah. So normally I would suggest using I normally use Cascamite to be fair, so I would be using a pot, to be honest. But my Cascamite is knackered, so I need to order some more. Really, I do prefer Cascamite. So now we're going to pop that one into there. Oh, the other way round. Get the right way round, Marcus. Like that. Bit of a wiggle. Making sure the glue gets right in there. That's good. It goes. So that's in there, right? Just like that. Right. I'm gluing into this side. I'm not going to glue the other face. So I don't really want to overdo the glue here, because I just want to. People can't see it. I need to do this end so you can see what I'm talking about. We're gluing the tendons, loose tendons into here because I've got a bit of extra rigidity, but I'm not going to glue the other face. So I just got to make sure I don't overdo the glue and I mustn't get any glue onto the dry face. Or it will be the dry face. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue in here, a bit of a wiggle. I don't put too much glue because I don't want it squeezing out, you see. You've got a bit on there, let's just make sure there's not enough there to stick it. Stick it. Junk it. That's another film. What's that? Mystery Men. That's it. Mystery Men. Junk it. Junk it. I do love my movies. Right, so I need to tap that in home. So we'll use a little mallet here. A little mallet. Do a little tap. Down it goes. So they'll be glued in solid. All right. I don't want to leave it too long because there's a bit of movement in there. And I've got to make sure it lines up with the other ones. So I need to be a little bit careful that it don't take too long to put it together. And then we'll have to make sure it's square. Not stupid square. I mean square as in, you know, carry square. On for say. Carry. Not that sort of carry. Carry. So same again. Don't glue that bit, we glue that bit. And the reason for that is I don't want glue oozing out. So because you just literally scrape it off, you see. And this isn't don't be wrong, it's not going to be perfectly glued in the sense it'll be super strong. But this face is not the hung side. This is the non-hung side of this door. That's a cabinet door, yeah. It's going on, yeah, for this niche. And because it's not the hung side, it's not as critical. You know, it doesn't have to be quite as strong as the hung side. The hung side is where we're taking it all the way to the door. And you want to make sure the door stays, you know, true. You know when you see these like gates, like they're all shutters on windows and they're all saggy, because most of the time they were made years ago. They've been built dry, and they just moved on the joints. But that's why we had the evolution. Why we ended up having the introduction of a brace, hence the legend brace. Started on there. It's just started. I need to do the other side. And you just, and there are. You probably can't see that. And then we'll squeeze it up some clamps. See? Oh no! Come apart again! Woohoo! No, don't come apart. Right, so let's bring it up maybe a little higher. You can see. Oh my god! Sorry, I'm not in seasick. Oh my god! It's all ripply. Oh dear. Why is it that angle? Angle's all wrong. It's all about the angle of the dangle, you know. Alright, let's bring down here like so. We're going to grab a couple of clamps. That way? No, that way. Go that way a bit. That's better. Yeah, I'm going to grab some clamps. These clamps I'm going to be using, what we call bar clamps. And these got clamp heads on. And you make these yourself. You buy the heads and then you make the clamps. They're not brilliant heads. These ones from, I think they're from Rutland's in the UK. They're okay, not brilliant. But if you can get Eclipse ones, if you want to make yourself some clamps, you basically make the bar with all the holes in, and then you buy these heads. You can do the same pipe clamps as well. If you're in the US, pipe clamps are very popular and very good. Like so. Starters, we're going to lift this end up onto this clamp, also making sure the clamp is wound out enough, which it is. Then we're going to position. You can put blocks of wood in and stuff like that if you really want to, you know, to protect your piece of wood. That to there. Alright, the shortest distance possible is always best. So that won't reach there, so I'm going to put that on the ear light. In there it goes. Make sure it's in the middle of the joint. Like that. Like that. Remember, there's no more. This is not going to be glued, so I don't want it glued because I want to take it apart again. Like that. So we're starting to push it together, look, and now we're going to grab another clamp for the other end. I need a producer. And a cameraman. There's a woodworking YouTuber called Rob Cosman. He's a cameraman guy. Go around with his camera, which is I have to admit they're very good videos. He seems a bit of a boring geezer though. Nice enough chap, but a bit boring. Maybe because I'm a bit over the top, so maybe that's what it is. So we'll get this clamped up, and then oh, by the way, I've got my chainsaw work fixed. Well, I've got a new chain. I could do a new bar though, but I've got over that. I've managed to nip up a bit, so the bar could do with being replaced, but it's working. So it's a little steel 16-inch chainsaw. What we're going to do is we're going to make some big tree trunks of lime tree. We're going to make them into 2 foot long bit. We're going to make them into a couple of chairs for the garden. And I'll use them in my videos. I'll do my other videos, so I thought I'll do some videos outside. I'll create an easy sort of place where I can make my videos. On the other channel, that is. But we'll do that live, I think. So if I mess it up, you can see me mess it up. If I cut a limb off, you'll be able to see me cut a limb off. You know, the usual sort of things you do with chainsaws. Oh my god, it's squeezing up, it is. Oh, can you hear that? Ooh, I hope it comes apart again. What better do the other side, because it's now getting a bit of a twist in it. Probably do make that a little bit looser. There again. Right, now it's squeezed up that far. I'm going to have to move the... Either move it along or put a bit of wood in, which I could just put a bit of wood in, just to do that extra little bit. And I've got a very handy little piece of wood here, which happens to have a dovetail joint in it. We'll use that. That's going to go on there like that. I'll make up, that'll be enough just to make up that distance. Should really move the foot along really, and that'll be a better job. Nice. You don't want to encourage or like a twist or squeezing it out of square. Now you probably know this trick already, where you make sure it is actually square, where you measure corner to corner, or you can use a square. Because I haven't trimmed it parallel yet, I'm not going to measure the outside corners. If I do it measuring corner way, I'd want to measure these internal corners because they're not going to change. They need to be the same. Okay, at this stage we've got it squeezed up like so. I hope I get it apart again. I hope so. Alright, that's good. Right, at the moment that's not lined up properly there. It's there. Oh, that's right. Right, so what we need, best way of doing this is with a steel rule, not a tape. In this case, it's aluminium rule, so I do apologise. I think it's long enough for 1 metre, so it should be enough. Yes, just about. Let's have a look, see what that says. It's saying 947 millimetres. Over here. A 9 at the moment is slightly out of true. Right, so we need to force that a little bit. At the moment it's about what, 2 millimetres. I need to squeeze it up 2 millimetres. And one way of doing that is with another clamp. Oh damn, another clamp. Oh dear me. Quite handy having clamps, you know. How big is that? Corner to corner. That one might reach. Got a Revix F clamp would be ideal for that. If it'll reach, it should do. Yeah, it'll reach. Oh, giddy aunt. Quite handy. You never have too many clamps. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, I think I've got about 400 clamps. Including all my little ones. Just about the right size. I'll just about fit. So I'm just going to squeeze that corner to corner to try and get that square. Alright. At the moment, it's not. I heard a couple of creaks. So, the clamp's going to be in the way now. So can I get that up there like that? That's it. And now that says a 948. What's that? A 948. Perfect. Maybe touch more, just a millimetre. That's probably about right. So we'll leave it like that. Now, sometimes when you squeeze these clamps up tight, right, you can cause it to almost like this face here end up trying to go that way or that way, so try making it pop. But what you do is, because these wooden bar type clamps like these ones, they're quite good really, because you can use more clamps. Oh yes, use more clamps. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab 4 clamps. What, fork handles? No clamps. That didn't quite work, did it? No, I didn't think it would. I did it anyway. Alright, fork handles? No, fork handles. Right. That's a clamp. That's a C clamp. I want a C clamp. Isn't that nice? Oh, okay. Right, so what we do is we're going to plonk that on there like that, near the joint, and hold that down. Now, yes, I would recommend that you have little blocks of wood ready to go, but I'm not that worried. No. So we're just going to basically clamping it down to the bar clamp. Make sure it's 90 degrees down. That's good. Just gently, not too much pressure. I'm not trying to, squeeze the living daylights out of it. Might not need that one again, but we will see in a minute. I'm going to do the same on the other end. I've literally just put up a camera so you can see from the other angle. So you can see I'm actually just clamping underneath this clamp here to hold this piece down to the clamp, because the clamp is relatively straight. Yeah, quite true. In fact, I made sure of it, although it was a while ago, so it might not be now. These none of these G clamps. These G clamps came from Axminster in the UK. Can't get things from there. I don't think they ship over here anymore because of Brexit. So yeah, like so. I'll squeeze it down just like that, just gently. I'll do the same over. Oh, yeah. Stephen Martindale. I feel quite sad for him actually, because he's a really nice chap. He helped me out a few times as well. But like when I started out, I couldn't really afford the cost of the advertising. He allowed me to, he gave me quite a bit of breathing space to pay him. So I thought it was quite nice of him. Well, it is nice of him. He didn't have to do that. At the end of the day, he had quite a large. At the time, he was doing quite well. Then we had Brexit. The criticism I would say is because it's like current issues and stuff like that. It was all about that sort of stuff. It was an editorial, but also a lot of advertising. That's what you were paid for. Yeah, so that's spot on still. But when it comes to Brexit, he didn't really go there, and he should have done. I need to clamp. It does need to squeeze up more in that corner, and I think he should have done. The reason why he didn't go, I think what he did is he alienated the majority for the sake of the few. Because lots of people wanted to talk about it, obviously, but he didn't want to upset people. Anyway, he was a nice bloke. But I think he might have, he could have carried on with that, and people have carried on getting the paper. But the problem he had is that there weren't so many people advertising. I stopped advertising with them because my business literally just changed overnight. Well, not overnight, but within a relatively short period of time. Brexit damaged it. In my woodworking business. Okay, that's clamped down to place. I'm quite happy with that. I think that's okay. So we have our frame glued up and clamped up. One side's dry, well, half glued, so it creates these little pegs, these domino dowels sticking out. And the other side is glued up with mortise and tenon joints. And we had a double mortise and tenon here, and we had a single one at the, that end there. And they should be really strong. That would be really. That's an overkill. I could have just used a domino dowler and actually done the whole lot, and that would still been really, really strong. So I made doors and all sorts of stuff on that. Although what I tend to put a slip in the door as well. So I put dominoes in, but also put a slip and stop any water ingress. And it works. And I don't any complaints. Nothing's come back, so that's a good sign. But really strong. So you can do multiples, obviously. You can double up in both directions. And I used to, like, for instance, in the the bottom mullion on a door, for instance, I'd put a bottom rail in a door. I'd put 8 of those mortises in, and sometimes more than that. In each end. So, but because the system's very quick to do, I'll make it look slow, but is really, really quick and easy to do. Anyway, I'm gonna call that it for a minute because I need to go in and have a look at my my weird pasta made with some weird flour thing. Actually, the pasta itself is konjac root made from that, so it's going to be a weird pasta. It's okay if you want glass noodles, you can do a noodle version of it. It's okay for that, but as rice is a bit odd, and I can't imagine the pasta being much better. Yeah, it's weird stuff, I'll tell you. But yeah, hello, Cass. Well, and Jeff. Haven't you forgotten the whiteboard? No, haha! You haven't been paying attention, or you just got it. No, I haven't forgotten the whiteboard. Because what I've done is I've done it dry. Just explain it again. The construction is dry, right, on this rail. So this rail can be removed once the rest of it is dry. And then what I'm going to do is, but before I remove it, I'm actually going to router the groove in. that I need, because the groove's it's got to be quite deep or quite wide, because this has got a slot in, and plus, and ideally I want a backing board on, or I could just paint it, I suppose. I might just paint it with a white gloss or something. I don't know. The other thing is, I'm wondering whether or not, because it's a dry whiteboard, whether I might actually even spray it black and give it a little bit of relief, then lacquer. And the reason for that is because obviously the pen from dry white. If I just do wood, it's just constantly it's got to build up, isn't it? You know, all the black edges around it, and I think it'd be nasty. So I might actually just do it with my black paint and just get a little bit of light relief and lacquer it. That's what I'm thinking anyway. I think it might be a better idea actually. But then we'll obviously slide it all into place, and then we'll say, "Hey, it looks great." No, okay. We'll slide it all in place, and then I'll take that off, slide it in, and then put it back on again. That's my plan. I know it seems a bit aspect face, but hello, Bernard. Oh, did you say the microphone's a bit dodgy? 1 2 1 2 1 2. Do you say it's dodgy as in too loud, or dodgy? Am I clipping? Oh, you're clipping the limiter. So not according to that. Have I got the limiter on there? Let me just double check. Filters. Noise gate, open gate. Noise gate. That's noise gate. Open threshold. Let's just do a re. 1 2 3 4. No, I don't know. It might just be interference in there. Because I was getting interference from my speakers earlier, so I was wondering if that might be it. Clipped onto. Clipped onto. Okay. Are you joking? 1 2 3. It is. It might be a bit on the high side. Close threshold. 1. 1 2. Is it the attack? What might be the attack time? 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? No. Oh no. What's happening? Oh, okay. Let's bring it back down again. Is that any better or not? I might still clip. Hi all, just joined. Any spare tomatoes? Oh, hello, Crystal. No, sorry, I've eaten them all. No, there's lots of tomatoes on the supermarket shelves. In fact, I might do a video in the supermarket tomorrow. I've got San Juan tomorrow. There's a bigger supermarket there called Leclerc. Or the internet. Is the internet good there? No, I can't remember. But anyway, I'm going to do a video up there, so we'll have a look. But I might take different, as a matter of balance, I might take a different approach. Like, for instance, how much it costs in that video. Because although I know I keep going on about tomatoes in the UK, in fact, yeah, it's very hard to get tomatoes and it's going to get worse. But it'll get better. And what I'm going to do is try and create balance that's going to be at the price. Because even though you can't get them at the moment, your veg in the UK is ridiculously cheap. Yeah. And even if the prices have gone up, they're still. I went to our local supermarket yesterday. I couldn't believe it because I was going to buy a cucumber for my video yesterday. You see, it was €2.80 for a flipping cucumber, a stick of water. You know, you can shove that flipping thing away. Yeah, no, don't do it. No, don't recommend that. No, especially straight out of the fridge. But anyway, God, yeah. Sorry, I was just reminiscing. Sorry. Anyway, so yeah, I decided not to. But last week when we went in there, you could get like 2 for $1.50. So I don't, not in there. That was at the Leclerc in St John. So anyway, we're gonna have a look, see how much the prices of veg are in there because they are more expensive, and things like cauliflowers and stuff like that are quite expensive here at the moment, and not very big. I hear they're extremely small in the United Kingdom, but the thing is, we have got plenty of veg on our supermarket shelves. I mean, plenty of veg. I can't see any shortages just yet. I don't. Well, my main thinking, a reason I think is that your buyers are not paying enough for it, and the veg follows the money, so to speak. And in this case, it's falling our money, and it's ending on our supermarket shelves because they pay more. There's a lot of protections there for the farmers. And didn't Jacob Rees-Mogg say that you have cheaper food and shoes for peasants or something like that? Anyway, well, that's at least what he meant. Oh, for every like on this stream is one boo for the Farmers Union to Teresa Coffey. I know. Oh, you saw the video then? That did make me tickle. So, oh my giddy aunt. I have to admit, I do fat shame her a bit, and I'm fat myself, so I can't really talk. But I think she's. It wasn't for the fact that she was an awful human being. I don't have any sympathy for her. She is chronically awful. She's a horrible piece of work. She really is. And for that reason, tough. Anyway, it's like a bit of old leather. So anyway, don't talk about interference. We couldn't play vinyls or the turntable until I spent a fortune on a balanced phono amp. Oh, a balanced phone and rewired the tone arm. Oh God! I tell you what. Did you earth it? You got to earth it, you know. Otherwise, you're going to have problems. Yeah, because I had problems on mine, but I just had to. The earth was disconnected, so I earthed, and that's fine. I'd like to get a valve amp for my turntable. That I would, but decent. Well, you can get cheap ones, but decent ones are a lot of money. Yeah, but my deck don't really warrant it. It's an old Akai deck, and from the 60s or 70s. I think from the 70s. It's a good thing though. It's a nice deck for the money. You know, I didn't pay a lot for it, and it's quite a good record deck. I wish I kept my old one. I used to have a Lin years ago. I wish I kept that. That was a lovely thing. That was. Never mind. And they fetch good money now, so I won't be getting one of them. New? Oh my God! They $5 grand. Definitely won't be getting one of them. For Lin. Okay, we are only short tomatoes in the British-owned stores that use UK distribution centres. Oh, that's an interesting point. I know that like a lot of the local distributors, like not distributors, like smaller stores, are having less problems. But everything's important at the moment. Everything, 70 to 80% rely on imports for your food. I know they're going to say it's what 30 or 40 the government will say, but it's not. No, they're not allowing for processed foods, or schools, or the prisons and all that sort of stuff, and the military. Oh, now okay. I twiggled it. I tweaked it. I played with my lever. I did. Oh, excellent. I'm in Ireland, says Kristen. I bet you we're only short of tomatoes in the British-owned stores that use. Oh, I get you now. Sorry. Yeah, obviously. Northern Ireland Protocol, anybody? Oh, so yeah, I'm going clipped onto. Bernard, don't talk about interference. I've done that one. Yeah, I do love my vinyl and that. I do enjoy just sitting there, relax, and sometimes listen to it while I'm writing the scripts and stuff from the videos. I'm in Northern Ireland. Tesco's had most of the veg baskets turned over. No veg, and you can still get potatoes. Oh, no potato famine. Okay, that's good. Good sign. Good sign. Yeah, so I know it's a bit of a mess, isn't it? But I know the UK grows, like for instance, for the cucumbers and what have you, they're a month late because they're waiting for it to warm up a little bit because obviously energy costs. And then you've got tomatoes, same thing again, they're waiting for it to warm up again. When that's then many of the greenhouses in the UK are actually got they shut their doors. Thanet, up in Thanet, they've last year a lot of the greenhouses were shutting the doors, but also a lot of people don't realise this. The site has got I don't know if they got it yet, but they've applied for planning to take down all the greenhouses on that site of Thanet. So it'll disappear. Nothing like making yourself, how to put it, not viable as a country. Food security, eh? It's a thing of the past, it was. So that's gone. That's going to be gone. Problems are affecting the major chains, apparently. Oh, I see. Yeah, because they're not paying enough. They're not paying enough. Like I said, the veg follows the money. They're not paying enough. If you've got, like, for instance, here, we're paying a lot more for our fresh veg and salad. Our lettuces have gone up. Our eggs are far more expensive than they used to be. if you want to get their cheapest eggs, you get 10 eggs for €1.10. Now that same box of eggs is just over €2, so it's like doubled almost. The other thing I noticed when I went into, where was it now? Intermarché in Cusack in France. Lettuces, they used to, well, depending in summer obviously they're cheaper, but they were last week were $1.29. This week they're like $1.59. So there are shortages. That obviously problems, hence pushing. Maybe the fact that they can't export has pushed the prices up. Maybe, you know, but the farmers are a bit subsidised, aren't they? If they can't make the with the common agricultural policy, how did it work again? Oh, I can't get ahead in my head again. I've gone a bit screwball. Pretty Potato was going to starve Ireland. I bet she was. Yeah. Pretty pathetic and eat a load of shit. I'll let that go. There you go, Duke. Oh dear. I'm pretty pathetic. I've done that. Okay. Oh, you know. Well, I'm going to go and have my food. I am. So we'll let that door here. We'll let that dry, and maybe tomorrow we'll route it out and see if we can slide the panel in. Route it out before I slide the panel. I want to paint it, I suppose. But before I paint it, I'm going to have to something I'm going to have to do without you, because I'm going to have to actually fit it into the space, make sure it fits. And then what we'll do is we'll cut the hinges and stuff like that ready to go, and then we'll paint it, and then we'll fit the panels bit by bit. There's other jobs to be done, but also I want to make that seat with a chainsaw. So I go crazy with a chainsaw. I've never done anything like that before. I've carved a horse's head before with a chainsaw. That was pretty cool, and millions of mushrooms. But that's about it. So okay, so I'm gonna say enough is enough, because I need to see the missus, because she's made me feel cheers. So I hope that your daughter's doing well with her channel. I think I've been with her for a bit. I haven't checked. Yeah, I better do that. It's amazing how people like Matt Walsh can get away with yes. I think the algorithm hasn't caught up yet. And the main thing is, regarding the swearing's not so much of a problem, but you mustn't swear within the first 7 seconds of the video, and it mustn't be repeated. The odd swear isn't a problem, as in, like, you know, even the F word and whatever isn't a problem on the occasion, and that has to be in proportion to the length of the video. But if you're just constantly doing it as part of your language, they'll find you and they'll cut you off and give you a strike. But it's the other things, the community guideline strikes. They're the ones that can really bug you up, can really damage your channel. So you have to be careful, and because of that, you almost got to just take a one shoe fits all approach to the whole thing, and say, well, you just don't do it, you know, and just try and hold back as much as you possibly can. The sad thing is, some channels, without the profanity, don't work. Super Tansky, you can imagine that if she didn't have a foul mouth. I can't imagine it. It just wouldn't work. And another geezer's a lot on TikTok. He started doing YouTube as well. You've got 10,000 subscribers at the moment, which isn't bad. And he's pretty good. I can't remember. Actually, I think he's on the. Oh, he was on the Snowflake show yesterday. They had a clip of him, and I thought, oh god, he generally swears like Billy O'Reilly does. And says some quite, and also he uses sexual expletives as well, which is a no-no. That comes under community strikes, you see, not just swearing. So you've got to be careful. I suppose the F word could be actually, yeah, good point actually, F word as well, couldn't it? You mustn't sexualise your content, basically. So, yeah, so you've got to be careful. You've got to be careful. Oh, Professor. Yeah. What are you doing again? Alright, I'm going to go now. So, I'm going to just scroll up there. I'll find my OBS, my software that I use for the streaming. I still haven't solved my problem regarding my USBs. So I've got the two cameras, but I managed to put it a bit closer. So I managed to swap the cameras around. So I can then have this one, which I can move about like that. Yeah, that's it. Oh, isn't that great? Oh, do you feel sick? Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, I know I do. So they're using auto closed caption. Probably maybe. But it doesn't matter. You can delete your video; they can still get you. Seriously, even if you've gone in there, deleted your video, or hidden it, or made it unlisted it, made it private, you can still get community guideline strikes. So it's all in there. It's all in the terms of service. So it's not very helpful, no. So anyway, it's time for me to go. So I'm going to say, have a lovely evening to you too, Casper. So, bring you a bit closer. So I've got your buttons here. I've got choice, you see. I can do that one over here. That one here. Oh, it says stop streaming. Oh, damn, I've got auto stop. Ooh, that sounds technical. Oh, look at that. That's weird. So, how many screens are there? Again. Oh, strange. Anyway, it's time for me to go. So I'm going to say ta-ta, you know. So ta-ta.